The Alpha's Rejected One. Synopsis. Willow Winters was different from the others in her pack. She was taken in by Alpha Luca Hudson when he wiped out her pack, telling everyone that rogues had destroyed it. She ended up being a servant to the pack when she turned 18. Her wolf never came forward. She found herself being bullied by others in her pack. She tried to stay out of everyone's way and keep to herself. The Alpha's son was a different story. He was just as mean as his sister and let the other members pick on Willow. But he discovers Willow is his mate when he turned 18. He kept his distance, but the closer she got to her birthday, the bond starts to play with his head. He knows they are mates, but Willow had no idea. Her birthday is a day before the big party. That's when she finds out she is mated to the Alpha's son. He wastes no time to reject her on the spot without any remorse. He don't want a wolfless mate. How could he have such a weak mate? He ordered her not to tell anyone. He couldn't have his father finding out. It would make him look weak to his father, and he wanted the title of Alpha, so he planned on making his long-term girlfriend his Luna. She came from a strong background. The pain of the rejection is painful, but Willow can't let it show. Going on as if nothing happened, she planned to run away when everyone was busy with the party. She knew that would be her only chance. She knew the risk of leaving female rogues didn't last long on their own, but she would rather face that than stay here any longer. She knew it was Alpha Lucas who killed her parents, and he made sure to remind her of that every day of her life there. She had her plan set. She just needed to wait for the right time. But there was one thing she wasn't planning on, and that was the Lichen King himself. Lincoln Declan is known as the ruthless Lichen King. He is cruel and uncaring. They say he gives no chances. He likes order in his pack. Break his rules, he will have your head. He was invited to the birthday party of Alpha Luca's daughter Caitlin Hudson. He didn't want to attend, but his parents made him in hopes of keeping the peace between Lichen and werewolves. He hadn't found his mate yet, and they felt this visit would be good. But what he didn't know was that his path would be crossing with that of his mates, and what he definitely was ready for was to find his mate beaten and chained outside and left in a bad way as she barely clung to life. Episode 1. Willow, wake up, you lazy bitch, was all I heard before I felt the coldness seep through my clothes, letting out a gasp at the instantly cold wash over me. I sat upright in my bed. Well, if you would even call it that. Blinking to get my eyes focused, seeing how I was just woken by having a bucket of cold water dumped on me. I finally get my bearings. Looking up, I see a seething Caitlin standing over me, bucket in hand, her eye boring into me. She is the Alpha's daughter and the most spoiled person in the pack house. She is the youngest. Her brother Milo is the oldest, and he's no better than her. Didn't you hear me? I said get up, there's no breakfast ready and I find you up here sleeping. She yells, tossing the bucket down and putting her hands on her hip as she cocks one leg out. I am sorry, but it's not my morning to do breakfast, it's Mia's turn. I sputter out, trying to keep my teeth from chattering. Mia is busy, so you are to do her chores now. Get up, or I'll tell my father you are slacking and not doing as you are told. She spun on her heels and walked to the door. You got 10 minutes. She yells, then slamming the door closed so hard the walls shook as some plaster fell to the floor, creating a small crack in the wall. Great, that will be another spot I will have to patch. Glancing over at the small clock on my stand. 5:30 am. Letting out a small groan, I only came up to my room at 1 because Caitlin decided I needed to finish all the evening chores by myself. She don't need a reason, this is how it's always been since I came here. I was so excited thinking we would be friends as we were the same age, but I was wrong. I have a lot of scars all over, especially my back. I hope when I get my wolf that they will go away, or at least lighten a bit. Quickly shaking those thoughts away, I better get moving, don't need the Alpha coming to find me. Grabbing my now soaked blanket, I get up, hanging my blanket on a small hook, hoping it will dry before tonight as it's the only one I have. Moving over to my dresser, I pull open the drawers, take out some clothes, stripping off the wet ones. I find a spot to hang them as well, seeing as I cannot do any laundry today, not with having to cover breakfast now. Slipping on my sneakers, looking down at the holes in the tops and the soles peeling back in the front part of the shoes, sighing I'll have to keep watch and see if anyone throws out a pair that I can use. These are in their last leg. Getting up, I walk over, pull my door open, make my way down the steps. Reaching the other door, I crack it open just a little, listening for any movement. I push it open some more, poking my head, looking down the hall, then glancing the other way. Seeing as no one was in sight, I step out, closing the door, trying my best not to make any noise. Quickly I make my way down the hall, keeping my head down as I walk. I reach the stairs, going one step at a time. Hearing them crack a little, I cringe, freezing in my spot, making sure to listen. Nope, no movement, so I continue my way down, turning down the hall, making a beeline for the kitchen. I know I'm in the clear now, as no one uses this way to go into the kitchen, only us low omegas and the other low-rank workers use it. I let out a breath once I stepped into the kitchen, thankful I didn't run into anyone on my way down here. Going around the small island in the middle of the kitchen, I began to get everything out I would need. We normally do a buffet style in the morning, as it's always a rush in there with the warriors coming in from training. Other pack members come in, they all have to option to eat at their houses, but most still come to the pack house for breakfast. Placing the pans on the stove, I begin the bacon in one and then sausage in the other. One thing about it is meat is something that is to be made at every meal, no matter what. As they cook, I mix up some dough for biscuits. I fill 3 pans, placing them in the oven, quickly setting the timer. Hearing popping, I go over, turning the bacon and flipping the sausages. The smell begins to fill the room, making my stomach growl, but I know better than to take a piece. My mind replays what happened the last time I sunk food. Shaking my head, I went back to cooking. I grabbed a glass of water and downing it, that should make me feel full long enough to finish up in here. I still have an apple hide in my room yet. Placing the bacon and sausage in containers and seal them with lids, keeping them hot. I don't need Caitlin screaming about cold food. Moving to get another pan so I can get the eggs started. I make 2 batches of scrambled. Just as I put them in the other container, I hear the timer beeps on the oven. Shutting it off, I pull the trays out, setting them on the hot warms on the counter. I grab a big tray, laying them all on it. I spin around, grabbing 2 more trays off the shelf. I place everything on them. Damn, I'm going to have to make 3 trips. I can't carry all this at once. Just as I was about to pick up one tray, just as the sound of the double doors swinging open that leads to the dining area, I jumped at the noise, snapping my head in that direction. I saw Gamma Daniel standing there. He moved towards me, stepping back. I pressed myself against the counter behind me, cowardly backward. I felt my body start to shake with fear. Even though he has never hurt me, I still don't trust anyone. Willow, I'm not going to hurt you. I just came to see if you needed a hand. Here, I'll grab 2 trays, he says, grabbing the 2 heavier ones, turning, walking back out the door. Swallowing slowly, I try to calm my racing heart. I take the tray with shaking hands, making sure to have a good grip, as I don't want to drop it and have to deal with consensus. I move to the door, pushing through. I hold my breath and close my eyes for a brief moment, saying a small prayer that no one is in here. Peeking, I saw it was empty. Blowing out a breath, I glance around, seeing Gamma Daniels walking across the room towards the far table, setting down the trays. Following him over there, I set mine down. Willow, I'll pull out the plates and silverware and finish setting the table. Why don't you go ahead and start coffee? Everyone will be piling in here in about 15 minutes or so. He walks to the other side of the room, opening the large floor-to-ceiling cabinet, grabbing a stack of plates. I do not say anything, just nod my head, turning and making my way back into the kitchen. I get started on the coffee, Just as I filled the coffee, Butler's Gamma Daniels popped back in the kitchen. Dropping my hands to my sides, I moved away from him. People have started to filter in. How about I take these out? Can you do up some orange juice? Milo will be looking for some. Nodding my head again, I simply gave him a small okay and then moved to do what he asked. It only took a few minutes and the pitch or juice, setting it on the island. Just Gamma Daniels came back and he grabbed the pitch. Willow, be sure to eat something this morning, he says as he turns to walk out of the kitchen. Quietly I move closer to the doors as the commotion gets louder. Peeking through them, I can see the room is filling up quickly. Not wanting to be caught, I move away from the doors. Looking at the mess from breakfast, I may as well start clean up. Don't look, as I will have help this morning, and I definitely don't want Caitlin to give out any orders for a punishment today. Willow, tiredly I drag myself up to my room. My body was sore from all the work today and not enough sleep, seeing as I was abruptly woken early this morning. Caitlin pulled her normal stunt, making me do all the chores on my own. Then at last minute she had me gather all her clothes to have them washed, even though I just did them yesterday. Pushing open the bottom door, I climb the stairs. Once at the top, I step in, cutting the door and remembering to lock it. This time I know I'll be punished for that, but it will buy some time. If anyone comes up, they will have to go back down the Alpha's office for the key. Even though I don't want to find out what punishment may come my way, I just need a little peace of mind for one night. Pulling my shirt off, I toss it in the box I use for a hamper along with jeans and the rest of my clothes. I take a glance at myself in the broken mirror hanging on the wall, fighting back the tears that threaten to fall as I look at myself. Scars line my arms and my legs, my ribs show, my hips bones are sticking out. My skin is so pale it's almost white, my blue eyes are so dull, and my brown hair is beyond dry, look like death. Closing my eyes, I wish for death, it would be better than living this life. Feeling a signal tear slip down my cheek, I step away from the mirror. I grab some clothes, slipping them on, moving to check and see if my blanket is dry. Thank the moon goddess it is, or it is a long chilly night without one. Wrapping it around me, I lay down on my bed. As a spring pokes me, I groan and shift to the side a bit, closing my eyes. I'm so tired, but sleep never comes easy for me. I'm always worried someone will barge in yelling at me for something. I let the thought of running away play in my mind. I think I would take being a rogue over living here with these people. Of course, I wouldn't make very long as one. Female rogues don't last long out there among the others. That and the Alpha would come to find me and drag me back outweighs the idea of running away. The punishment would definitely kill me. I don't think I can handle it anymore. My body is at a breaking point. Slowly sleep takes over. I slip into the darkness like most nights. SHH Willow. My mama's voice is low as she whispers in my ear, her arms wrapped around me. Mama, what's happening? Where Daddy? I asked her. I could feel her body shake as she pulled me tighter when loud noise rang through the house along with snarls and growls. SHH sweetheart, we don't want them to hear us. A loud bang made us both jump. She held her finger to her mouth, showing me to stay quiet, nodding my head and don't making a sound, but holding tighter to my mama's shirt. Moving to the door, she slowly peeked out and then ducked back in. No one's here, one person said, but I saw her go this way. I know she didn't come back or she would have run right into us. Another spoke. There was some movement. Alpha's not going to be happy. He wanted her found and brought back to the house. Let's keep looking. We heard the sound of them leaving as their footsteps got farther away. Mama set me down and cupped my face. I need you to stay here, Willow. Don't come out no matter what you hear, okay? No Mama, don't leave me. I promise to be good from now on, I cried as I clutched her shirt in my little hands. Oh sweet girl, you are always a good girl, and right now I need you to be on your best behavior and listen to Mama and stay here. Okay Mama, I'll stay here. Good. She pulls open the closet door, making me sit on the floor, taking some blankets and covering me up. You stay hidden, Willow. Wait till someone comes to get you. What if no one comes? Someone will, sweetheart, don't you worry. She leaned forward, kissing my cheek, then covering me with the blanket all the way. I heard the door open and then shut softly. I pulled the blanket down off my head, sliding forward. I peeked through the slots, seeing Mama move to the door again, but this time she didn't look. She took off out the door. There she is. Someone yelled. I could hear running and then growls. More screams filled the air. I jumped back, hiding under the blanket again and squeezing my eyes shut till I couldn't hear any more. I stayed and waited for someone to come to get me, just like Mama said to. But no one came. But I didn't move. I stayed right there under the blankets, crying myself till I fell asleep, till I was woken by the sound of the door. Peeking up, I saw a large man standing there. Fear ripped through me as I scooted back, pressing my little body against the wall. Kneeling down, his eyes held kindness, holding his hand out for me. Come on, little one, let's get you out of here. He smiled, holding his hands out to me. Moving to his arms, he picked me up, carrying me out of the room and down the steps and out the front door. What have you got there? The man's voice made me jump. As we turned, I saw the man standing there. He was scary looking, making me grab into the man holding me. Found her inside Alpha. I think she one of the Omega kids. Put her with the others. He waved his hand. The man holding me walked over to a group of children, setting me down in the middle, looking around and watching as people ran around. There were guys separating the pack members into groups. Willow. Turning around at the sound of my name, I saw Marie. I ran straight to her as she scooped me up into a hug. Sweetie, are you hurt? She pulled back. I don't get a chance to answer her when a commotion startled me. Looking over, I saw two men dragging my mother. Alpha. One calls out, Ma. I started, but Marie clapped her hand over my mouth. SHH, Willow. They threw Mama to the ground in front of the scary-looking man. Well, Cass, long time no see. He crouches down in front of her, gripping her chin. Not long enough. Now that's no way to speak to your mate, is it? You're not my mate. Lame is my mate. She screamed at him. He let her go with a shove back. I am your mate, and now that I have taken over this pack and killed your so-called mate, you will stand with me or I'll end your life. You choose, Cass. I watched as my mother slumped back, then on her heels she gave me a side-eye, then dropped her eyes down, closed them for one moment, lifted her head up to look at that man. I'd rather die than stand next to you. She growled at him. He never said anything, he just stared at her when he let a growl rip out loud and then snapped Mama's neck. I couldn't hold the scream as it fell out my mouth. Jerking upwards, I'm breathing hard. Looking around, I realize it was a dream, the same dream that has haunted my sleep every night. Resting my head in my hands as I try to calm my heart, turning my head just a bit, I see the clock read 4 am. Sighing, I slip out of bed. I may as well get a start on breakfast. I know I won't be able to go back to sleep. Change, then make my way downstairs. Willow, I was able to get breakfast done and out before 7 and had not seen one person so far, and I was thankful for that. I had finished cleaning everything up in the kitchen when I heard people start coming in for breakfast. A small rush of fear settled in me so quickly I went out the other door, walking down the small narrow hallway. Turning at the end of it, I made my way to the laundry room, wanting to get a head start. Maybe I can get done early. I was feeling exhausted after my crappy night of sleep. My body felt heavy as I moved toward the bins of wash that were left from yesterday. Grabbing one, I filled the one washer, then moved over, pulling the clean stuff out of the dryer, stood next to the table, began to fold them into piles. I noticed these were Ashlyn's clothes. I groaned silently, knowing I would have to take them up to her room. Ashley is Caitlyn's best friend. She is the beta's daughter, and also she is dating Milo, Caitlyn's brother. She is just as mean as Caitlyn. Everyone thinks she is Milo's maid even though Milo is old enough to tell if she is or not. He does not say anything, just goes along with it all. She and Caitlin turn 18 next week. Milo is already 20. There was an announcement about throwing a big party for them both, seeing as they share a birthday. Luna has already been on everyone to make this the most important task. Alpha is overjoyed because that means Caitlin gets her wolf that day. Luna has ordered so many things and has a party planner coming in this weekend to plan the whole thing. We have been told we are to work at the party. That one thing in this pack is if you're a lowly Omega you are nothing more than a servant. Continuing folding, I was so lost in my thoughts I didn't hear anyone sneaking up behind me when two arms caged me against the table, letting out a scream. It was muffled by a hand pressed against my lips and a body leaned into my back. You should pay more attention to your surroundings, Willow. Scrunching my face. Was that Milo? What was he doing? He never talked to me, only if he's with his sister and his buddies. He stepped farther into me. I braced my hands against the table, trying to keep it from hurting my stomach with how hard he was leaning into me. Milo towered over my small 5'1" frame. He was easily 6 feet, maybe taller. He was bulky, get trained every day. He was the top warrior. No one could take him down except for his father. He ran his nose along my jaw up to my ear. I could feel something hard against my lower back. I started to struggle, not liking where this was leading. He let out a groan, pushing his hips harder into me. I wouldn't if I were you. I like the feel of your body wiggling against me. He grins up, making me feel him more now. But I like it even more to hear you screaming my name. I felt him lick my cheek and I wanted to gag, to throw up. Is he doing this to me? You would like that, wouldn't you? I bet you are so tight, seeing as you have probably never been with a man who would want to touch you anyways. He rested a hand right below my boobs. I could feel his thumb reaching up, cresting the bottom side of one. Fear rips through me. I begin to shake my head, pushing more against the table. I need to get away from him. Milo. I hear Ashland's voice. He leans closer. One day, Willow. He lets me go, turning and heading out of the room. I lean against the table, trying to catch my breath and not cry. Baby, why are you down here? Preston said he saw you coming down here. Her voice is like nails down a chalkboard. I don't make a sound. Course, if she knows I am in here and Milo was in here just now, she will beat me or run and tell Caitlin I was trying to come to Milo or some stupid lie. She is so possessive of him. Nothing, babe, I was just trying to find that dumb servant girl. I need my wash done and she has been skipping over it. I could hear them kissing and her moaning. Well, you should tell your dad, she will get punished. I'll just have someone else do it, then maybe I'll get Mia. Okay, baby, if you say so. I rather Mia do it anyways. I don't like that filthy girl touching your stuff. I listen as their steps get farther away. When I know they have left, I finally break down, letting silent tears fall. My mind snapped back to when I first came here, why my parent was killed, and why they were kept here as a servant. I didn't understand at first when they took me in along with others that day our pack was attacked, killing my father and mother. Marie took care of me for a year. Never tell them who you are, Willow. Marie used to tell me all the time. To keep it hidden away from them, it was safer for me. That is till one day I was taken to the pack house. I had just turned 7. They took me in a room and that's when I saw him, the scary man, the same man that killed my mother and father. He was sitting in the chair behind the big desk with a woman on his lap. He stared at me with such hate I wanted to turn and run. Standing up from the men's lap, the woman walked to me, her heels clicking against the floor. She stood in front of me, looking down at me, a look of disgust on her face. You, she pointed her finger at me, will learn how to be a servant in this house. You will have to earn your keep to stay in this pack. I didn't say anything, I just stared up at her blinking. I couldn't say anything. The man who took my parents away from me sat there like nothing happened. She lets out a chuckle looking over her shoulder. Dear, I think this one is broken, maybe we should find a different one. There were lots who came in with her. No, he said, standing and walking to stand next to the woman, dropping his eyes down to me. She will work just fine. The quieter the better. She waved her hand at him. Whatever, just keep this filth away from my children, she said as she walked out of the room, leaving me with the scary man. My heart pounded in my chest. I was afraid of him and he knew. He just gave me a smirk. I know you recognize me, and I know who you are and who your parents were, he says, then leans down closer to me. You have your mother's eyes. My wife may not know who you are and we will never tell her. He used his alpha command on me as a child is hurt. I may not be a pack member, but I was young and he was powerful. Soon as he said it, he snapped back up. Gamma Daniels. He yells out. The door opens. Yes, Alpha, I see the man who found me in my closet walking into the room. He looks down at me, his eyes soften for a moment. Take her to Nancy, she needs to learn the rules and the duties of a servant. Alpha. He says he's clearly not following. She just a child. Gamma Daniels, are you denying an order from your Alpha? His voice was deep and rough sounding. He dropped his head. No, Alpha. He quickly scoops me up, carrying me away from that man, but my eyes stay on him as he watches me. Snapping out of it as I heard footsteps. Mia came in along with another girl I didn't recognize. She saw me on the floor. Willow, what happens? She was next to me. Mia is from my pack. We were just children when we came and both of us have been servants since we were young, only they aren't too mean to the others like they are to me. She wiped the hair away from my face. She took a breath, then looked at me. Does it have to do with Milo? I saw him coming this way earlier when I was heading to take Caitlin her breakfast. I nod. Don't tell anyone. I don't need Ashlyn accusing me of anything. We all know she is with Milo. She gonna know. Willow, I can smell him on you, so she going to be able to smell you on him. Damn it. We may not have our wolves, but we could still smell one another's scent. Just nothing would stand out till our wolves appeared and we could smell our mates. Groaning, I lean back on the leg of the table. Those are her clothes. I have to take them up to her. Mia peeked up at the table. I'll take them so you don't cross paths with her. Stay down here and finish the wash. I'll cover for you. I have Maddie help today. Are you sure? I don't want you to get into trouble. Yes, it will be fine. Now let's finishing folding and I can get those up to her before she comes looking for them and finds you. All right. Willow, it's been a few days since my encounter with Milo in the laundry room. With the help from Mia and Maddie, I've managed to not cross paths with them and I was so thankful for their help. I was mopping the floors in the small ballroom that was recently added onto the pack house last year. The Luna likes to throw a random party for no reason other than to show off and make them all believe a fake image of her and the Alpha as if they are the most loving pair and they're perfect children, which is so far from the truth. The whole family is messed up. The Alpha and Luna don't even sleep in the same room. Of course, only us servants know that cause we clean them and collect the clothing. Milo and Caitlin don't get along at all. Milo can't stand his sister and always putting her down. She calls him a man whore. Even though he's dating Ashlyn, he has other women in his bed every night and his sister knows that. But Luna does everything and anything for her kids, like with this party. She had all the decorations delivered this morning as per what the planner had ordered. Tables were coming later today. After they are done, she will make me mop the floor for the 10th time in one day. I've been cleaning this room for the last 2 days. I don't argue, just do as I'm told. Don't want to push her buttons the wrong way. She will run straight to the Alpha and I know where that leads to. I heard footsteps approaching. Looking up, I saw Beta Cole walking into the room. He stopped in the doorway, scanning the room. His head shook just a bit, but then his eyes landed on me. He gave me a scowl, pinching her brows together. He moved my way. I naturally started to step back. My fear of these people has always been high. I want to turn and run away when any get near me. I don't trust any of them enough to turn my back to them, and Beta Cole was up there with the Alpha, as he is normally the one who carries out my punishment. "Hey orphan, the Alpha wants to see you," he calls out. Just when he was about to take a step forward, someone called him, "Beta Cole." Someone calls out, making him stop and turn to see who it is. I saw Gamma Daniels appear next to him. "Gamma Daniels," he says, "Alpha said I would find you here. You're needed out on the training field. There is an issue that requires your help." "What? The damn women fight again over Milo? Or is it the Alpha? Which one?" "I am not sure, but the trainer linked Alpha asking for your assistance." Beta Cole looked at me, giving me a hard look which made my skin crawl. The feeling to bolt was building. I know he don't like me, and that's a reason I always try to stay away from him. His daughter is just like him. He walks out, not saying another word. I watch as he leaves the room, leaving me alone with the Gamma. Gamma Daniels held his hands up. "I am not going to hurt you, Willow. I saw him coming this way. I heard he said the Alpha wants to see you. I'll take you to him." He stepped aside, holding his hand out for me to walk in front. Swallowing slowly, I stepped around him, dropping my head so I looked down and started walking out of the room. He stepped in behind, following me. I didn't say anything, nor did he. We reached the Alpha's office door. I could feel my heart in my throat. I hated being in this room or anywhere near him. Gamma Daniels reached up, placing a knock on the door. We heard him call out to come in. Pushing the door open, Gamma offered for me to go in first, and doing as he offered, I stepped in. I saw the Alpha sitting behind his desk, surfing papers around. He looks up when he hears us step. One look from him and my skins crawl and my anger rises. I hate this man for what he did to my pack. He took my parents from me. Over the years I've come to understand why he destroyed my pack, all because he was obsessed with my mother. He couldn't face the fact he wasn't her mate. Stopping in front of his desk, I did look up. I kept my gaze down to the floor. I was not looking to give him a reason to become angry, and to do is to be quiet and do as he said. "Alpha," I say in a whisper. "Gamma Daniels, wait outside," he says, but don't look up from his paperwork. "Yes, Alpha." He leaves out, closing the door. "You asked to see me, Alpha?" "Yes. I just got word that the Leakin Prince Lincoln Declan is going to be attending the party, so I have put together a list of things he likes. I want you to have it all prepared. If anything is missing off that list, it will be your hide." "Yes, Alpha, I understand." He tosses a piece of paper at me, grabbing it quickly. I bow, then spin on my heels, rushing out the door. "Willow, wait!" I heard the Gamma calling out to me. I stopped but didn't look up. I held the paper tight in my hand. I couldn't afford to lose it. I knew what his threat was, and I was not going to have that happen. I didn't need to be hurt when going to make my run during the party. What did he need, Willow? "Oh, just gave me a list of the things that are needed for the Leakin Prince's arrival for Caitlin and Ashlyn's party." "Here, let me see it. I am sure there are things you could use help with getting. I know he don't allow you to leave the pack house, so if there's something that's needed from town, I'll run and get it." I nod as I lift my hand, holding the paper out for him to take. He looks it over, then hands it back to me. "Looks like it mostly different dishes of food and desserts, but there are some drinks that we don't have here, but I'll get them and put them in the kitchen." "Thank you, but you don't have to. I don't want to cause you any trouble, Gamma Daniels." I shudder out. "It's no trouble, Willow. I told you before, you can trust me, okay?" I just nod as I pocket the paper in my jeans. He walks, patting my shoulder. making my way back towards the room I was working on. I don't need to have Luna mad at me if I don't finish it. Once I was done with the room, it was time to start dinner, putting everything back in the supply closet at the end of the hall close to the back door. I scurried to the kitchen. I was happy to see Mia was there along with a few others as well. Lately Caitlin has been making me do kitchen duty alone, as she normally has Mia tied up with whatever she needs to be done. Preparing dinner was so much easier with the help. It was done and ready to serve so much faster than if I had done it all by myself. We had just set everything out when we heard voices. Looking at Mia and the others, we knew better than to hang around. Quickly making our way back to the kitchen, they went over to the island, sat down. They began to eat the little that was left over. I moved to start cleaning the dishes. I was not allowed to eat with them unless I was told to. Sometimes I would go days before getting food. I would manage to stash apples and some pieces of bread. Here Willow, I saved some for you, Mia says as she hands me a small container, shaking my head. Willow, we are allowed to eat, but I know you haven't had anything since the other morning when the Gamma told you to eat. You will get in trouble if Alpha finds out. We won't say anything. Come on, sit down and eat, she says, placing it on the counter. Willow, I had been cleaning all day. Luna had me scrubbing this place floor to ceiling before the guests arrived. Looking at the clock on the wall, it read 11 p.m. In just an hour it would be my birthday. I would get my wolf, and hopefully with her I would be able to run far enough away. These last few days have been rough, to say the least. I groan, holding my stomach as I stand up, grabbing the bucket I had filled with dirty water from where I was scrubbing the floors in all the bathrooms. I let go of the handle, standing there for a minute hoping the pain would go away. Looking at my now bandaged hand and arm, the memory play very clear in my mind. The next day after I had met with the Alpha, I was doing my regular chores. I was in the kitchen preparing for dinner when Caitlin and Ashlyn found me, and shall I say it wasn't a nice path crossing. They had dumped a pot of hot oil on my hand as I was on my hands and knees from where Ashlyn had slapped me across the face so hard it knocked me down. I wasn't as strong as them. Yes, I come from werewolf parents like them, but I am psychically weaker due to not having the proper foods. Her reason for hitting me was that she claimed that Milo told her that I was throwing myself at him when she picked up on my scent being on him. I know it's a lie. He only said it to save his hide, and I have been able to avoid her, but as fate had it, it wasn't going to last long. They came looking for me, and of course, I would have happened to be alone when they did find me. I let out a scream when the hot oil hit my skin, burning me, but landed me a hard kick to the ribs by Caitlin. Gamma Daniels came rushing into the kitchen when he heard me scream. He tried to scold them for it, but all Caitlin did was go cry to her daddy. The Alpha was pissed that the Gamma did that to his daughter and that I probably deserved what they did. He had to apologize to her and Ashlyn cause. Beta Cole threw a fit when he found out his daughter had been yelled at. As for me, not only did I have a burnt arm and hand, I had a cracked rib, but that didn't mean I got off without punishment from the Alpha and Beta. 10 lashes on the back. That didn't hurt as much, for I have enough scar tissue and I'm used to the pain of the whipping. Gamma Daniels managed to sneak me some ointment and bandages for my hand and arm. There wasn't much I could do for my back or rib. Now it was almost my birthday, and here I was scrubbing the floors and making sure everything was ready for this party. Mai and Maddie helped me do the cold platters and salads today. I just had the hot food to do yet, but I couldn't make them too early as I didn't want to heat them back up and risk them not tasting right. I hadn't told anyone about my plans to leave. I don't want it getting back to Alpha or any of them. I know Mia would never tell. She would understand, but I know they will punish her if they learn she knew what I was planning. Letting out a sigh, I needed to put all the cleaning stuff away and start to put the decorations up in the hall, cause I knew today I would be too busy finishing the food as there was extra added with the Leakin Prince coming. Getting everything put away, I moved to the hall and began to put out everything on the tables had been set up already, so I started putting the clothes over, setting the plates and silverware and fancy glass cups. There were centerpieces that the Luna wanted. I worked table by table. I glanced back at the clock, seeing it was 2 minutes till midnight. I felt excited to meet my wolf. I wouldn't be alone anymore. Setting everything down, I walked over to the big window looking out it. The sky was clear, you could see the stars. Glances over to the sliding glass door that leads outside, looking over my shoulder at the room. I should go out if I'm going to shift. I don't want to damage anything in the house. The Alpha and Luna will definitely kill me if the things for the party get ruined. Slide the door open. I step out, taking in a deep breath of fresh air. I don't get to go outside much, but when I do, I love how clean the air smells. Walking a little away from the house, making sure not to go too far, as the patrol would find me, and I don't want that. They would tell that Alpha they found me out there. Looking up at the moon, it was so bright and full I could feel the light dancing on my face. I stood there just looking up. For how long I'm not sure, but nothing happened. I didn't feel any different, like Marie told me I would when it was my birthday. There was no burning feeling or tingles, not pressure in my head from my wolf appearing, not even a voice from her. I felt a tear slowly and painfully run down my cheek. Dropping to sit on the damp dewy grass, I placed my hand over my face and cried. What was wrong with me? Was I not good enough for a wolf? Like the others, why did I not get one? Why did she not show? What did I do in my life to have this happen? Every question ran through my mind till my head hurt and my eyes burned from crying. I looked up at the moon again. Why, moon goddess, why are you punishing me? What did ever do to you? I cried out, feeling so let down and so alone I could not even go back to see Marie. Alpha had stopped letting me visit a month after I was at the pack house, and she wasn't allowed to come see me. I was truly alone, and would always be alone. With that thought, the last of me broke. Happy birthday to me. When I had no more tears to cry, I lifted my head, wiping my cheeks. Picking myself up and brushing the dirt off me, I turned around, walked back into the house, grabbed the decorations, moved back to the table where I stopped. I worked till it was all finished. The whole hall had been decorated when I put what was left over in the box. The sky was turning pink as the sun was starting to rise. I should be happy today. This is to be the day we all wait for, when we get our wolves and can find our mates. Not like mine would want me, not with how my body looks, lined with scars. I am not good looking. Who would want a mate as ugly as I am? Nope, no one would. So this is my life, at least for one more day, then I'm out of here. Not that I have anything to look forward to out there. Shoving the box into the storage room, I made my way to the kitchen. I should have gone up to my room, but I knew Caitlin would only come to find me, saying I was to cover breakfast, so instead of dealing with all of her crap, I just went to the kitchen. Beside, once I leave here tomorrow, I know I won't make it far, and hopefully death will find quickly. I can get all the sleep I need then. Willow, I had breakfast all done and out. I was working on autopilot. I felt so numb, no emotion to show. With everything done this morning, I knew I had a little bit before I was needed for anything. I decided I would return to my room for a bit and then come back down for lunchtime. I could use at least an hour of sleep, seeing as I was up all night preparing for this damn party tomorrow. With the thought of tomorrow, the thought of leaving running through my head, I was so caught up in my own thoughts that I was watching in front of me, and bam, I bumped into something, or I should say someone. Hearing a low groan, then the most intoxicating smell hit me. Cinnamon filled my nose. I couldn't help but take a deep breath in. Oh, what was that smell? I took another deep breath. My body tingled at the smell. I let out a soft moan, then quickly clamped a hand over my mouth. I glanced up to lock eyes with none other than Milo. One word ran through my head: mate. Oh God! Fear ripped through me. I haven't seen him since that day in the laundry room. A smug smile appeared on his face. Well, it looks as if someone has come of age now, haven't you, mate? Wait, mate? How could I be his mate? I wasn't given a wolf. Can someone who doesn't have a wolf have a mate, and why of all people would I be mated to him? He rubbed his hands together. I have waited 2 years for this day, but wait. He leaned forward, took a hard deep breath and then snapped backward as if I burned him. Where is your wolf? Why can't I smell your wolf? I should be able to smell her. My wolf should feel her and he doesn't. I didn't answer. I couldn't. I felt so humiliated at the fact I was given one. I dropped my eye, not wanting to face him. Answer me! He yelled, stepping closer, grabbing my chin, pulling my head up to look at him. I didn't get my wolf last night. I managed to stutter out, wincing just a bit from how hard he was gripping my face. You are wolfless, he said, letting me go with a shove. I stumbled back with how much force he used. I just nodded my head, not wanting to say any more. I just wanted to run and hide in my room. Well, this gives me all the more reasons to do this. I was going to have a small taste of you before I rejected you, but now I do not even want that, not with a wolfless, useless girl like you. His words hurt. I mean, I always knew that my mate wouldn't want me, but it doesn't mean it wasn't going to hurt, and to hear your mate say those words makes it even worse. I, Milo Hudson, future alpha to Blue Moon, hereby reject you, Willow Winters. Pain ripped through my chest, making me fall to my knees, clutching my chest with both hands. For not having a wolf, this hurt like hell, I cried out as I knelt there in the hallway. Milo kneels in front, pinching my chin again in his fingers, pulling my face up roughly. You will tell no one of this. If you do, I will personally end your pathetic little life you have here. I nodded my head. I couldn't find words to speak. The pain was so strong I thought I might die from it. Answer me, wolfless freak, he growled out. I opened my eyes, looking right into his. I understand. I won't tell anyone, I sobbed out. I saw a flash of regret in his eyes as he just looked at me, but it vanished as quickly as it came. He let me go. Standing up, he looked down at me. Pick yourself up and go to your room and stay there the rest of the day. I will tell my father that you are sick, but you will be expected to work the party tomorrow. With that, he walked away, not sparing me another glance. I stayed there for a moment before I heard voices. I summoned all my strength to get up and made my way to my room. Dragging myself up the stairs, I fell on my bed. The burning in my chest from the pain of the rejection made me have no strength and to do anything. I couldn't even change out of my dirty clothes. Laying on my bed, I cried, how could I be so unlucky? What have I done to deserve all this? I didn't ask for my parents to be killed or for these horrible people to take me in. I would rather die than stay here any longer. I wasn't sure how long I had laid there crying. I had no more tears to cry. My eyes felt puffy and dry. My cheeks had dried. I couldn't fall asleep even though I wanted to. I wouldn't be missed if I never woke up, but I'm not that lucky now, am I? I felt so exhausted. No one came looking for me, and I was grateful for that. Glancing at the clock, I saw it was well after 8 in the evening. I was up here longer than I thought. Just then my stomach rumbled, reminding me that I hadn't eaten since Mia gave me that food the other day. Moving to get up, I groaned just a bit. My ribs still hurt, and all this extra work is not helping at all. Moving to the door, I pull it open. Going down the stairs, I rub my chest. It is still aching a bit, but I was starting to becoming numb to it. Peeking out the door, I saw the hall was clear. Everyone should be done with supper and most have gone to their rooms already, so sneaking down to the kitchen should be fairly easy. Moving slowly, I watch where I step, knowing one speaking board will give me away. I reach the kitchen without an issue. No one has cleaned up in here. All the dishes are piled up all over the kitchen. Great, I know what I will be doing in the morning before breakfast. My stomach grumbled again. This time I felt a little pain wrapping my arms around my middle. I moved to the refrigerator. Pulling it open, I found some leftovers. Leaning back, I looked around, making sure no one was there. I reached back in. Grabbing the container, I don't bother to heat it. I don't want to make any more noise, so I opt for eating it cold. I was just about finished when pain ripped through my chest so hard I fell to the floor, crying out loud. The food container went flying, clutching my chest. This hurt worse than when Milo rejected me. I heard the door swing open with a bang. I couldn't move to get up. My body was shaking as the pain only intensified, causing me to throw up the food I just ate along with some blood. Willow! What the hell? I felt hands grab me. I screamed again at the feeling it burned. Willow, calm down, I'm only going to help you. It was Gamma Daniel's voice. Here, we need to get you off the floor. He tried to pick me up, but the pain ripped through me again, causing a much louder scream to leave my mouth. This one will certainly alert the others. Gamma Daniels. What all this screaming down here? It was Alpha Lucas. I saw his shoes stop right next to my head. Alpha, I don't know, I found her like this. Alpha Lucas knees down, grabs a fistful of my hair, lifts my head, then lets it go. He stands back up. It's her mate. I roll around on the floor, digging at my chest. I just wanted the pain to go away. Her mate. Yes, it looks as if she has found her mate, and he must be bedding another right now. I felt a foot go under me, rolling me so I was on my back. Who is your mate, useless mutt? I shake my head, remembering Milo's words. I can't. I sob out. Alpha presses his foot to my throat, cutting off my air. I won't ask again. Who is your mate? He presses down a little more. I can't even reach up to try and get his foot off me. I start to see black dots. I know I'll pay for this, but I don't want to die by his hand. Milo! I cry out with what little breath I have left. Willow! My eyelids slowly drifted open as my sight cleared up. I saw a brown ceiling full of cobwebs. Rolling my head to the side, I found I was in my room. How did I end up in here? Lifting my hand to rub my forehead, sitting up, or I tried to sit up. My body ached all over, but mostly my chest and throat. My throat. I touch it, wincing as the pain spreads all over. Coughing, I sat up. It felt as if I was sucked and punched. It hurt like hell. Looking around for the small bottle of water I keep. Finding it, I took a small sip, letting the coolness soothe my throat. Remembering how the Alpha stepped on me, forcing me to tell him who my mate was, fear suddenly ran through me. Oh God, what would happen? Milo warned me not to tell anyone. As much as I invite death, I do not want it to be by the cruel man. Just then my door swung open, revealing Gamma Daniels standing there. I was coming to see if you were awake yet. Alpha is looking for you. Was all I got out before I started to cough again. My throat burned. Here. He handed me another bottle of water. He must have brought this up with him, as it was not mine. Taking a big gulp of it, I looked back at him. You okay? That's a nasty bruise on your throat. He reaches to lift my chin, but I throw myself backward, flipping myself right off the bed. I hit the floor with a loud thud, and pain shoots through my whole body. Willow! He came around the bed, bending down and kneeling. I wasn't going to hurt you, I was going to check your throat. You don't have to fear me, Willow, I won't hurt you. I just lay there, shutting my eyes and trying to calm my breathing. I didn't mean to flip off the bed, I just feared people's touch. Willow, will you let me help you up? I do not say anything, I just nod as I open my eyes. I know I won't be able to pick myself up off the floor. My body is in too much pain. Here, can you hold out your hands? He offers me his hands. I lift mine, grabbing onto his. He starts to help me stand. Movement alone hurts, but it makes it less painful with what little help is giving me. Plus, I don't think I could handle any other form of touch. There, he says. Once I'm fully standing, he lets my hands go without me asking or pulling mine away. He leans down a bit, looking at my neck but not touching me. That's gonna take a while to heal. Can you talk at all? Swallowing softly, Yes, I cracked out, but it burnt like mad at just that little bit. Okay, well, Alpha wants to speak with you. I am sorry I can't hold him off any longer. I just not letting him know I understand the Alpha is not a patient man. He turns to grab the door and holds it open for me. I do not say anything, I just walk past and down the stairs. He don't say anything while he walks next to me. Not that I wanted to talk, I knew I was in for some sort of punishment either from the Alpha or Milo. For what it's worth, I am sorry for what happened last night, and I'm truly sorry for you being mated to Milo. We reached the Alpha's office quickly. Gamma Daniels knocked when the Alpha's voice called out to come in. Just as the door opened, I took a deep breath in as I stepped through the doorway. Head down I walk in, going to stand right in front of his desk. Thank you, Gamma Daniels, but you can leave now. He lifts his gaze from the papers he was reading, his eyes and on me. Ah, I see you are finally awake. His voice is deep. I know that tone is the same one he held the day he killed my mother. Yes, Alpha. My voice is scratchy sounding. Well, now that you are awake, we need to deal with this whole mate thing. I do not say anything. I stand still, hands locked in front of me, my heart hammering in my chest. Milo told me that he has rejected you? Yes, Alpha. My voice wavering a little. Well, he will be taking Ashlyn as his chosen mate, seeing as he has broken his ties with you now. I heard his chair scrape across the floor, then his footsteps. He was next to me, his hand on my back. I felt his breath on my neck as he leaned closer to me. I went to take a step away, but his hand went to my waist, pulling me closer. Alpha. His nose runs along my jaw to my cheek, then my ear. You are just like her. You have her eyes, her hair, her voice. His lips touched my temple as I felt him breathe in. Even your scent is so close to hers. I shiver. What was he doing? He's never touched me. He doesn't even get this close, not since the first night I was brought here. Now I will give you a chance as I did her. But remember, Willow, if you choose like she did, I will not hesitate to take your life just like I did hers. Alpha, I'm afraid I don't understand. I was able to ask even though I felt as if I would pass out or just have a heart attack. He stepped closer, letting his nose move to my hair. I want you to be my mate, Willow. His mate? How could I be his mate? I know Milo was my mate, so how can he want me as his mate knowing I was Milo's? Alpha, how can I be your mate? The Luna is your mate. Because I chose you, that's how. Milo is taking Ashlyn as his mate and I would keep her as my Luna, but I need something more than what she can give me, and you will give me it. I didn't get to answer when there was a knock on the door. He didn't step back or drop his hold on me. Come in. The door opens and walks Beta Cole. His gaze flickers from the Alpha hand that is gripping onto my waist, keeping me pressed up against his side. He narrows his eyes at me and then looks back to the Alpha. I drop my head, not wanting to see his look of disgust. It's not like I am asking to be standing here next to this man. Alpha, some of the guests are arriving now for the party. Wait, the party? That means I was out for the whole night and half the day. The party was to start at 5 in the evening. Also today was the day I was planning on leaving this place. I'll be right there. I peek up a little. Beta Cole bows, then glares at me one more time before spinning and leaving the room. The Alpha loosens his hold, stepping to standing front of me. He cups my cheek, looking straight at me. If I can't have Cass, then I will settle for her daughter. Now I want you to go back up to your room and wait till I come to get you. You will be moving to a different room, one that's closer to mine, so I can have access to you whenever I want. Now Willow, if you try to run, you know what I am capable of doing. He leans down, kissing me. I push against his chest, but he does not move, gripping my hips harder. He pulls me closer to him. Letting out a gasp, he took that moment to shove his tongue in my mouth. Breaking the kiss, he steps back, wiping his lip with his thumb, then sticking it in his mouth. You taste just like her as well." With that, he spins going out the office. I could hear voices but I couldn't make out anything. Gamma Daniels steps back in, walking to me. "Alpha has given me orders to take you back to your room where you are to stay." Willow, I didn't say anything as I walked back to my room. Gamma Daniels tried but I just kept walking. My mind was racing with the Alpha's words. He wanted me because of my mother. I felt so dirty after he kissed me. How could he do that to me? "I will be right down here. I am ordered to guard the door," Gamma Daniels calls out as I make my way up the steps, but I do not say anything. I don't even nod. Shutting the door, I walk in the room, stopping to stand in front of the mirror. I look at myself. "Why?" was all I said. Couldn't I get a break? The memory of my mother dying flashed through my head, at how he just snapped her neck without care and then walked away. Would that be my fate if I don't go along with him? What about Milo? What would he do? Would he hurt me as well when he learned what his father was doing? Then there was Luna. Sure, she never was physically mean to me, but she didn't stop it and refused to do anything about it. She was so tied up in keeping the Alpha happy, even with him taking others to his bed. No, I couldn't even keep myself alive. I couldn't let him do this to me. This pack has done even to me. His son rejected me and left me lying on the floor. Then his father tried to force me to be with him, plus his daughter was my biggest bully, her and her group of minions. At that moment I made my mind up. I'm leaving, and I'm leaving tonight. I don't care when or how, but I'm out of here. Looking around my room, I try to think of how I'm going to get out of here. Gamma Daniels is at the door guarding it. I know he won't let me pass. Alpha gave him orders. Moving to my little dresser, I grab what little clothes I have, dumping them on the bed. Reaching next to the stands, I pull out a small backpack. I know that it will not hold much, a few pairs of clothes and some snacks. Stuffing what I can in it, I kneel, pushing on the small floorboard. As the one end pops up, I reach in, pulling out what few snacks I had hidden in there, throwing them in the bag as well, zipping it closed. Now I just need to figure out how to get by the Gamma. I see the water bottle lying on the floor. Picking it up, I walk over, push the window open, looking out it. I wish I could just get out this way. It is far up. I'm in the attic. It's over 4 floors high. I can hear voices and music coming from outside. The party must be in full swing, as it was now dark out, which will help me get away without them seeing me. Dumping the water out, I shut the window. I grab my bag and go down the steps. Setting my bag on a step, I slowly push the door open, poking my head out. Gamma Daniels is standing there. He turns when he hears the door open farther. "Willow, did you need something?" Holding the bottle out. Could I get some more water please? My throat is still sore and the water helps soothe it." Proud of myself as I managed to form a whole sentence and not have my voice shaking or crackly sounding. "Oh sure, let me get someone to bring another bottle up for you. I can get one myself, or I can even fill it from the bathroom sink," I say and point to the bathroom that's a few doors down from us. He looks down to where the door is, then looks back at me. "Alpha told me to not let you leave your room, Willow." "I know, but I don't want to bother anyone. I know they are all busy with the party." I can see him thinking for a moment and then looking down the hall. His head turns back to me as he reaches out, taking the empty bottle from me. "If I go get another bottle from the kitchen, you are not to leave this room," he says, his voice stern as he looks at me. "I won't, I promise, Gamma Daniels." "All right, I'm trusting you, Willow." He turns, walking away towards the steps. He glances back over his shoulder. I start to shut the door, so he thinks I am going to wait here. I feel a bit guilty knowing I just lied to him. Out of everyone here, he has always been the nicest to me, never hurting me and trying to help me when he can. I watch as he begins to go down the steps. I stop the door just enough to peek through the crack. When I don't see him, I reach around, grab my bag off the steps, push the door open and make my way down the hall. I just need to get to the bottom, the third floor, and take the servant stairs down to the basement and out the far door that on the opposite side of the house away from the party. Looking over the banister, I didn't see anyone, so I made my way down to check the hall. No one was there, so I dashed to the door I needed. Just as I turned the handle, voices came from down the hall. I pulled the door open, ducking behind, holding the door almost close, holding my breath. I waited till the voices passed by me. They got fainter as they moved down the hall. I turned the handle, pushing the door the rest of the way closed. Glancing down the steps, it was dark. No one used these anymore. Only if there was an attack would we be instructed to use them. I move carefully down them. I know no one will come through here, but I can't help but be cautious. Walking through the door at the bottom, it opens up to the basement. Take a moment to glance around and my eyes land on the door across the way. I stand there in front of it, hand on the handle. I take deep long breaths, gripping the strap of my bag. I pull open the door. Music along with people talking filtered through the air, along with the smell of food. I shut the door behind me. Looking around, I could see no one. It was a clear shot to the wood just across the yard, but it was all open area. I would have to be quick. The only thing on my side right now was it was dark out, plus everyone was busy with the party. It's now or never, Willow. I tell myself. With that, I take my first step, then another, and another. Before I know it, I'm at the tree line. Giving a glance over my shoulder, I can see some people walking around. Suddenly a feeling of regret washed over me, almost like I was forgetting something. I shook my head at that thought. All right, now I need to find my way out of here and not get myself caught by the patrol or walk into another pack border. I have no idea, as I have never been anywhere other than the pack house. If I went to town, it was with the other servant, but that's been years since I left here. Making my way through the woods, I had no idea how long I had been walking. My legs hurt along with the rest of my body. I tripped many times, fell a few times, got hung up in some thicker bushes. I was becoming disappointed. It felt as if I was not getting anywhere. When I finally came to a small clearing, letting out a breath, I started walking across it, but just as I reached the middle, I heard a long roar rip through the air. My body stiffened at the sound. I know that it's the Alpha. I took off running, knowing that they found I was gone. Stopping at a small stream, I was breathing hard, taking a large gulp of air in, quickly scanning the area. I had no idea where I was or where I was to go. Deciding I should get across the water, I stood up ready to leap over when arms wrapped around me from behind me, pulling backwards, causing me to scream out loud. I never heard anyone. There was no noise, but then I wouldn't hear them coming, not with being wolfless. Got her. Someone called out. I struggled against the hold. I tried kicking, hitting, anything I could do to get away. I couldn't let them take me back. The man holding me pinned my arms down, with one going over my chest area. I did the last thing I could think. I leaned down, biting down on his arm. I could taste the metallic taste when he let go of me with a loud groan. "You peesh!" He spun me around. I hadn't realized he still had one hand holding onto me. His hand landed hard across my face, snapping my head to the side. That's all it took, and I was down. My head was spinning with a throbbing pain, black spots dancing in my head. Next thing I knew, I was out. Willow, the pain was all I could feel. As I went to move, I could feel something heavy on my wrist. Snapping my eyes open, I looked at my hand. Instantly, my heartbeat started to get faster as I saw cuffs snapped around my wrist and a chain hanging off them. I frantically start to pull at them. They didn't move. I started twisting my hands as if I could slide them off, but they didn't budge. Grabbing the chains, I follow it with my eyes, seeing as it is attached to the wall. It's then I look around. Seeing I'm in a cell, fear gripped at my heart, knowing I'm back at the pack house. A noise causes me to look through the bars. I can see halfway down the small hall. I hear footsteps getting closer. I slide off the small cot, scooting back against the wall, pulling my knees to my chest and burying my head in my knees as the steps get closer. "So it looks like you have come too." The Alpha's voice rang through the cell, making me quiver in fear. I don't look up, I was too afraid. I kept my head buried. The sound of the cell door sliding made me peek up and over my knees, but I don't lift my head fully. Oh no, he coming in, walking to stand in front of me. Look at me. I know I'm in trouble trying to leave. He did warn me, so let's not push it. Lifting my head, I look at him. "What did I tell you, Willow, if you tried to pull what your mother did?" Please," was all I could get out, before we heard another voice. "Dad, you down here?" Milo's voice carried down the hall. "Yes son, in here." He don't turn to walk out, he stands right there, not even looking away from me. Ah, she finally woke up. Hey, great, we can get this over with and then back to the party. He comes to stand next to his father, glaring down at me. "Beta Cole is on his way down now," Milo says as he kneels in front of me. His eyes hold no remorse, no hurt, nothing but hate and disgust. I look between the two. Other than what are they planning? I know it is not good if the beta is coming here. He is usually the one who does the punishment. Shaking my head. "Please, I won't do it again," I pleaded, knowing it was all because I tried running. Milo chuckled at my words. "Dad, why did you even want her in the first place? I mean, I know she looks like her mother, but she has no wolf. She is a weakling. Do not worry yourself with that," his dad growled at him. "You rejected her, remember?" So Milo knew what his dad was trying to do, and he didn't even care when he turned his head to look at his dad over his shoulder. That's when I saw it. He was marked. I sucked in a gasp, clutching my chest and feeling a little sting hitting me. Milo snapped his head back to look at me, smiling at me. He reached up, running his fingers over his mark. "Like it? I just got it, still a little fresh." Even though I didn't want him as a mate, it still hurt knowing my mate didn't want me and took another and let her mark him. Beta Cole walked in at that moment. "Alpha, you wanted to see me?" "Yes, I did. This ungrateful girl here needs some reminding of the rules we hold here. So give her 10 lashes and collar her out back to the pole for 5 days. Then we will see if she sings a different tune." "Sure thing, Alpha. Make sure to do it quickly. The Leakin Prince is due to arrive any moment now." "I'm on it." The beta steps around Milo as he stands up, turning to walk out of the cell. His dad is right behind him, leaving me with the beta. Smirking down at me, he grabs my arm, jerking me up. He spins me, hooking the chains up over a hook on the wall so my arms are over my head. He rips my shirt down the back. I don't make a noise. I've learned it drives him more when he hears me cry out. "You know I enjoy this so much," he says as I hear the sound of the whip snapping along with the sound of the silver tips drag on the floor. Shutting my eyes tight, I wait for the first strike to land. "Lincoln," I groaned as I shifted in my seat. I was annoyed to be making this trip. If it was up to me, I wouldn't be going. I would be back in the palace going over war strategies. But no, here I am making this pointless trip to some spoiled, rotten, bratty girl birthday part. All I know is that she, the daughter of the Alpha Lucas Hudson. He has been building his pack up over the years, overtaking other packs as he expanding his pack lands. "Oh come on, Link, it can't be that bad," my best friend River says as he is slumped in the seat next to me. I look over at him, glaring at him. Narrowing my eyes at him, he gives me the stupidest eating grin. "Hey, you never know, you could find your mate at this party." He wiggles his brows at me. Rolling my eyes at his dumbness, I turn, looking back out the window. "No thank you. Come on man, at least maybe you can get laid. Don't need to sleep with a mere werewolf when I have Holly, who is willing to give me what I want when I want it." Holly wasn't my mate, but she was a good lay when I needed a release. Holly is the pack slut. Link, come on, everyone has had a taste of her at some point. Turning my head back to him. "Even you?" His jaw ticks as anger flash in his eyes, knowing I hit a nerve. I was pissed and annoyed about this trip, but I didn't need to take it out on him. "Sorry man. I didn't mean that." I didn't mean to take it out on you. He gives me a nod. It's all right, man. I get it, your parents made you come to this party, but we need to work on our relationship with the werewolves. It has been rocky the last few years, and with you being so close to taking over for your father, we could use the backup this pack is to have strong warriors, and that can be handy when we need them. I know. I just don't feel like entertaining a bratty girl just because it's her birthday. He lets out a laugh, sliding to sit up straighter. Neither of us are very comfortable riding in this damn car. Our legs are so cramped, seeing as there's not enough leg room. I feel my beast become restless. The closer we get, making me move around in my seat more. You all right? River asked, giving me a side look. Yeah, just tired of being in this damn vehicle. He nods in agreement. We should hit your dad up for bigger vehicles, at least something with more room for your legs. Damn, I am not going to be able to walk when we get there. Sir, we are here. The driver calls out as he turns into a driver. The gate is already open and one guard stands there holding a board. We come to a stop as my driver rolls down the window. Name was all the man said. I could tell by his scent he was a werewolf. Prince Declan. He pales and then looks to the back seat. Seeing me sitting there, he swallows, looking down at the clipboard. Fear rolls off him. I could smell it back here. Yes, they are expecting you. Please go on in. He steps back. Well, I guess our reputation follows us. Hey. River chuckles at the reaction of the guard. Of course he's afraid I'm not no for my police uris. I guess so. Wonder how many people will have the same reaction as him. The car comes to a stop in front of a 4-story house. It was simple looking, nothing too fancy. It was well kept but very plain. Getting out, I glance around as my beast stirs again, trying to come forward. Shutting my eyes, I push him back. You sure you all right? You don't look so good. I was about to answer him when a man stepped out, walking down to meet us. He held his hand out to me. Prince Declan, it a pleasure to meet you. I am Beta Cole. Taking his hand, I was hit with a strong smell of blood on him, but he did not have any on him. Something wrong, Prince Declan? Why do you smell of blood? I see you have none on you. With my words, River is up next to me, arms crossed, staring at this Beta to answer me. Oh, I do apologize. I had showered. There was an issue with a pack member who was out of control. Alpha had ordered me to carry out punishment on that member as he was dealing with his daughter's birthday party. He spoke as if it wasn't a big deal. I narrowed my eyes at him. Yes, I run a tight ship, but I am not cruel to my pack. If there is an issue, we handle without physical punishment. Giving River a side glance, he nods. He knows what to do. If you would follow me, I'll take you out to the Alpha. He is trying to prepare Caitlin's for her first shift, my daughter as well. Them two share the same birthday. Lincoln, I couldn't get my beast to settle down. He was on edge this whole time I was here. The Beta took us straight to the Alpha and his Luna. They had introduced us to his daughter and her friend. I haven't been able to get her off my arm since then. Her father had her take me around and meet all these people. My beast was growling in my head each time she touched me. She would purposely bump into me, grazing my arm with her chest. Rolling my eyes at something the two of them said as they started laughed. Their laughter was like nails on a chalkboard. It cringed each time she opened her mouth. I bared it, seeing as River was off doing what he does best. He had broken off once we met the Alpha. He wanted to check the house. He didn't like what that Beta said either. I looked at the Alpha son, who had his hands all over the friend that was attached to the hip of the annoying one who wouldn't leave me alone. I saw they were both sporting a fresh mark, so I assumed they were mates. That is, until I caught him checking out another she-wolf. I think his name was Milo. He was young and cocky. He rubbed me the wrong way and got under my skin by just standing too close to me, reaching down, pulling her hand off my arm. Excuse me for one moment. She lifted her head, looking at me. Oh, okay. I will be waiting right here for you. It's almost time for my shift, I wouldn't want you to miss it. She squawks out, batting her lashes at me, and I fight the urge to tell her to shut it. Walking away, I wanted to link River to see if he found anything I didn't like. How strong the blood smell was on that beta and how he answered me made me believe something was off here. Finding a spot off to the side, I acted like I was getting a drink. River, I called his name. Yes, Link, you find anything yet? Nothing solid, but there is a strong smell of blood coming from the one door and it leads out the another door. It looks as if it is a side door, maybe to the other side of the house from the party is on. I'll meet you over there. Oh, so willing to get away from that little piece on your arm, River. I growled at him. Kidding, all right, let me slip back through the house so no one sees me. Cutting the link, I glanced around and saw that Alpha was busy talking to her. I took that moment to move towards the door that was slid open. Stepping out, I was happy no one stopped me as I moved through the crowd. Just to turn the corner, I saw River pop around the other side, walking to stand in front of one another. So the trail leads off that way. He points to the side. I take a deep breath and I can pick up the blood smell. There was something else there, but I couldn't pinpoint it. My beast surged forward. Let's follow it. My voice was rough sounding as I was fighting to keep my beast at bay. You sure you want to go? You seem very edgy. River asked as we started moving in the direction of the smell. Yeah, it's just my beast is jumpy. I don't know why this place seems to make him want to come forward. Well, I feel the same. I just want to find this person, then hit the road back home. Me too. Now let's find this person. Hopefully they're not too injured. With how strong this blood trail is, I think it's not good. We continued to follow the smell. It was getting stronger as we got farther into the wood. When we reached a small clearing, I could see posts sticking up out of the ground. Silver chains hung from them. There were about 10 posts all in a circle. What the hell? River said as we looked around. We caught a glimpse of something moving on the ground. There, I point across the circle. We move quickly, but I wasn't ready for what we are about to find. There, lying on the ground face down, was a woman bleeding from her back so badly it ran down, staining the ground around her. Oh, it's a woman, River says as we both kneel. He reaches out, moving her over so we could see her face. A faint smell of rosemary lingered in the air, making my beast jump around in my head. She's so young. She let out a small groan. You could hear the pain. Man, they did a number on her. Just then her swollen eyes opened just a bit, but I was able to see them. My breath hitched, my beast on full alert. Mate, I said out loud before I could stop it. River snapped his head up, looking at me. What? He asked. She my mate, I repeated myself, knowing this time he heard me. Was all he said. I couldn't stop my hand as I reached her face, peeling some of the hair away from her forehead. She had blood all over her face. River passed her to me. I took her, holding her close to me. For the first time I was frozen. I couldn't think, I couldn't move. All I could do was hold her. River reached out, gripping the collar. He looked at it for a minute, giving it a twist, snapping it, letting it fall to the ground. I noticed a nasty bruise on her neck. It looked like the bottom of a shoe. A low, hard, deep growl slipped out as my beast was filling me with rage at the sight of our mate beaten and bloody. We need to get her help, Lincoln. Scooping her up in my arms, I could feel how skinny she was. No, she whispered. It's all right, we're here to help you. We won't hurt you. You are safe with me, I tell her, but she lifts her hand, attempting to push me away, but she has no strength. SHH, it's okay, I got you. She did not say anything, but she went limp in my arms, tightening my hold on her. I started to run back towards the pack house. It seemed to take forever to reach the backyard. I could hear her heartbeat. It was weak and faint. Her body was cold to the touch. She had lost a lot of blood. Rounding the corner, everyone stopped going silent as they stared at me carrying a bloody body in my arms. They cleared as we walked through them. That annoying Alpha's daughter stepping in front of me. Why is he holding that useless girl? She stated, stomping her foot. As her brother stopped next to her, his eyes widened just a bit. He quickly covered it. We need a doctor, River called out. Prince Declan, what is this? Why are you carrying that girl? The Alpha asked as he approached us. River stepping in front of me, you tell us we found her beaten and collared like a dog out in the woods. I don't know what you're talking about. Collaring is not allowed anymore. How can you accuse me of such cruelty? So she's not a member of your pack? He asked. No, she is not, he says with a flat tone. I noticed a man standing back flinch. He seemed like he wanted to say something, but with one look from the beta he backed away, hanging his head. Someone call for a doctor, a small woman asked as she walked closer. Yes, right here, I called out as I laid my mate on the ground. Oh my God, what happened to her? She was kneeling, pulling open her bag. She started to grab things out of it. Sir, we need to move her to the clinic. She has lost a lot of blood and from the looks her back is in bad shape, she says as she looks over at me. Lead the way. I scoop her back up in my arms. Standing, I follow the woman. Prince Declan, why don't we leave this to my beta? He will make sure she is cared for. I couldn't help but snarl at his words, letting my beast come forward. Watching him take a step back, I knew he was afraid of what he saw, and he should be. No. I will end this. Party is over. Everyone will return to their rooms till I find out what is happening here and how this young woman was hurt and left out in the middle of nowhere. Turning towards the river. Make sure they follow my orders. Yes, Alpha Prince, he said with a bow. Even he submits when my beast is out. He is an alpha male leak and no one can resist the power rolling off him. I looked at the woman frozen in her spot. Clinic. I growled and she nodded. Spinning, he began to lead us out of the party. Lincoln, I paced the room as I watched the doctor and group of nurses working on her. I stopped when the door opened. River walked in, glancing over to where working. I couldn't help the growl that slipped out. He held his hands up. Calm down, I know she's yours. He comes to stand by me. Anyone give you a hard time? Only that daughter of the Alpha. Man, she was pissed. I had to put a command on her to go to her room. She was going all crazy, yelling about how it was her birthday and she wasn't going to be able to shift. Stupid girl, I say as I keep a close on what they are doing. Yes, well, I do have some news, he says, slipping his hands into his pockets. What's that? They had to roll her over so they could clean her back. It took everything I had to keep my beast from coming forward and ripping everyone apart in that room. Well, I had someone come up to me. He said he was the Gamma and he had information to tell me about your mate. He wants to meet up with you. He said he wouldn't be safe here once he told you, and he wants protection for him and his family. Protection? I asked, glancing at him and then back to where my mate lay. Yeah, he said it's not good and he needs to make sure his family is safe. He said he will tell you everything. All right, we will meet with him once she is stable. I don't want to leave her right now. He patted my shoulder, giving me that look. Just a few hours ago you said you didn't want a mate and now you're ready to kill everyone in your path. Shrugging his hand off me, I step away from him. Shut up, I tell him, but he only laughs at me. Okay, I called your dad and filled him in on what was happening. He is sending help and he said to keep him updated. You told him I found my mate? No, I left that for you to do. I just said we found a girl collared and beaten. Good. Everyone had stepped away from the bed, giving me a clear view of her back. My heart stopped when I saw the condition of her back. She had maybe 50 lash marks, maybe more, going across her back. My beast lurched forward, making everyone freeze. I shut my eyes and took a deep breath. I was starting to lose my hold on him to keep him at bay so they could do their jobs. "It's okay, finish what you were doing." I could hear Rivers's voice. I felt a hand on my shoulder. "Link, why don't we go wait out in the hall so they can finish treating her?" Snapping my eyes open, I see he's standing in front of me. "Yeah," I say, taking one more look at her. The doctor gives me a nod and then goes back to what she was doing. Walking out the door, I press my back against the wall. Scrubbing my hand over my face and rubbing the back of my neck, I look up to the ceiling, letting out a breath. River leaned against the wall next to me. "What are you thinking?" "I don't, man. I wasn't prepared for this yet, but now what are you going to do?" "As far this pack is concerned." Letting my head tilt down so I was looking at the closed door, "we need to look into what's been going on here. Obviously they are still using harsh punishment that has been banned for over the last decade or longer. We need to look into every part of this pack, and we will start with that Alpha and his family." River nods his head. "What about the Gamma?" "Like I said, we will meet with him. If what he tells us is worth anything, then I will send him to my father along with his family." The door across from us swings open as the group of nurses came walking out. They all bowed to me as they walked past, pushing off the wall and taking one step just as the doctor came to the doorway. "How is she?" I asked before she was able to say anything. "She is stable for now. I can clean her wounds. Some needed stitching and we had to give her blood. She had lost a lot, and seeing as she don't have her wolf, her healing is going to be slower." "Wait," I say, holding up a hand. "What do you mean she don't have a wolf?" She scrunched up her face at my question. "Just what I said, she don't have a wolf. I couldn't find any traces of her wolf. I know she is of age to have gained her wolf, but she seems to not have one, or it's that her condition has made her wolf so dormant, and her condition being?" River asked, seeing as I couldn't find my words. "She didn't have a wolf," my beast grumbled in my head, bit at hearing she didn't have a wolf, but at the fact I was second-guessing she was my mate. How could a wolfless girl be mated to a Leakin, and a royal Leakin at that? "Lincoln." River's voice knocked me out of my thoughts. "I am sorry, what?" He pointed to the doctor still standing there with raised eyebrows. "You need to hear this." Turning my attention to her. "Sorry about that. What did you say?" She let out a small huff, crossing her arms as she gave me a glare. "If you're going to toss her aside like others, then I'm not going to waste my time talking with you. She has clearly been through a lot, as her body shows scars that are old and ones that are as fresh as yesterday, along with what we patched up right now, not to mention she has 2 broken ribs, and more." I was shocked at how she spoke to me. Even now she's still holding her ground, giving me the 3rd degree? "All right, I understand and know I'm going to toss her aside." My mind just wandered off track for a moment, "but please explain what you all found." She holds her stare for a second longer, but then drops her arms. "Let us step back in here and I will show what I have all found." She steps back into the room. We follow her. River closes the door, and I stop at the foot of the bed, letting my eyes run over her. She laid there still. There were some machines hooked up to her. I noticed one had a blood bag hooked to it. Her heartbeat was steady, her breathing even not ragged like it was when we found her. "Okay," the doctor says as she holds a clipboard, walking to the side of the bed, going to stand on the other side. River stays at the foot. "I found 2 broken ribs. I'm going to say they are about a day to 2 days old. I also found a fresh bruise on her throat area right here." Using her finger she points to the front of her throat. "I can see what she talking about. I had noticed that earlier. I see that it looks as if it could be from a shoe or boot." Nodding her head. "I am going to say some sort of boot by how deep the bruising seems to be." "What else?" She has a lot of scarring all over. Now her back is in worse shape along with her weight. She is seriously underweight. Every bone sticks out on her. I am going to say she probably only eats maybe once a week or less. That could be the cause of her not getting her wolf. It takes a lot for us to shift the first time and her body would not have handled that. What the hell? River says, but not loudly, causing me to look over at him. Will her back heal? I was able to see it when they were working on her. It looked as if a meat grinder was run over her. It will take some time. Like I said, she will heal at a slower pace cause of her having no wolf. It's going to scar though. There's nothing I can do about that. When you say she old even to have her wolf, how old do you think she is? She shook her head. She is young. I am going to guess about 18 to 19. It's hard to tell because she's so malnourished, but I know she's at least 18. She too young to have all that happen to her, River says as he looks at me and then back to my mate. River has a younger sister who just turned 17. She is everything to him, especially after his parents died. Looking down at her, I can see her face better now that she is cleaned up. Her cheekbones show, her eyes seem sunken in a bit. Taking her hand in mine, I rub my thumb over the top of her hand, feeling every bone as I do. There's one more thing, the doctor says, making me look up at her. Given her age and seeing as she had a number of injuries, I will tell you that have never seen her before tonight. What do you mean you never seen her till tonight? How can that be? Are you not the head doctor here? Yes, I am, but I have never met this girl before. I have been in this pack for almost 10 years. My mate is from here, so I came here with him when we found each other, and in my 10 years here I have never seen her. What the hell is going on here? Willow's so quiet calmness washed over me. Sure, it was dark, but I felt so peaceful in this darkness. Normally I would want to find some light, but right now I didn't. I want to lay right here and never move. At those thoughts I had a burst of tingles dance up my arm, starting at my hand. I tried looking down but couldn't see anything, closing my fingers as I could still feel them. What was that? Willow. I heard a soft voice calling out to me. Turning my head, I couldn't see anything. Was I hearing things? Instead of worrying, I laid my head back down, shut my eyes and took the quietness in. This was so much better than before. No one yelling for me, no endless chores to finish, and definitely no Caitlin or Milo. The thought of Milo, I felt a small ping run through me. I wasn't sad he rejected me. I knew when my mate found me he wouldn't want me. What I was sad about was now I was truly going to be alone the rest of my life. I didn't understand how I could be mated to him. Why couldn't I be mated to someone else, someone kinder? Willow. The voice rang out. It sounded closer this time, making me lift my head. Hello? I called out, now feeling a little worried about not being alone here. What if the person was here to hurt me? Having I been through enough? Why couldn't I just be left alone? Willow, I am here. Sitting up, I turned my head to the side and then looked back to other way, squinting as I try looking for the source of the voice I heard. Someone there. I'm here, Willow. Snapping my head around, thinking the sound came from my right. I can't see you. Here, Willow, I'm right here. Crap, was that coming from my left? I thought it was on my right. God, now I wish for some light. Getting to my feet, I spun around. Come this way? Willow. What way? I did not even know where I was. I couldn't even see anything. What way? I can't see anything. Follow the sound of my voice, Willow, let it lead you. Closing my eyes and taking a deep breath in, I turned to my right and took a shaky step. Opening my eyes, I moved slowly as I was carefully placing my feet, making sure not to trip. I walked for a while. I hadn't heard anything since I started walking. Letting out a huff, I felt stupid. Why would anyone be in this darkness with me? Just like my whole life I'm alone and no one would be looking for me. Heck, they collared me, leaving me out there. After they wiped me to the point I pasted out, I know he gave me more than what the Alpha had ordered him to. That was what he always did. I just didn't understand why he hated me so much either. Hanging my head, I wiped my face with my hand. This is useless. This place was no different than my life back at the pack house. Sitting down, I pulled my knees to my chest, burying my head in them. I let my tears fall just once. Why couldn't I get a break? I didn't want a lot. I knew my place as a servant. I didn't want to change that. I just wanted someone to care about me. My mother face popped in my head along with my father. I miss you both so much. I whispered out to no one but myself. Why did you have to leave me? Tears flowed down my cheeks, an ache in my chest that I hadn't felt in a long time. The hurt of them leaving me, even though I knew it wasn't by their choice. I could still remember so many of the times we had together. We were happy. Then in one signal night everything changed. Willow. That same voice danced through the darkness. Picking my head up, I looked just like before. I could not see anything. I felt a warmth on my cheek causing me to look over. I sucked in a breath as I squinted my eyes. It was a small bright white light shining not too far from me, and my body moved on its own. Slowly getting to my feet, I made my way to the light. The closer I got, the bigger the light got, brighter, and seemed to grow bigger. Upon reaching it, I extended my hand to touch it. I did not know why, but I felt I needed to feel it, almost like there was an invisible rope pulling me to it. As soon as my hand touched the light, it exploded all around me, blinding causing me to close my eyes, covering them with my hand. It was bright. I could feel a small light breeze against my skin as my hair waved behind me. Letting my hand down from my eyes, I peeked them open to find myself standing in what looked to be an empty meadow. I glanced around. It was so beautiful. Flowers danced in the wind as they swayed from side to side. Grass that looked so soft you could nestle down in it. Where am I? Spinning around, there was nothing but green grass and flowers in all directions. Something caught my eyes as I was turning to stop to see what it was. I squinted as I focused to see. Wait, is that a person? My heart thudded as I watched the person walking away from me. It was a female that I could tell by her long hair and slender body. Wait! I cried out, taking off towards them. They did not look back. Maybe they couldn't hear me, so I yelled again, but still nothing. I was running as fast as I could. The person disappeared over the hill. I lost sight of them. No, I said as I pushed myself faster. As I cleared the hill, I stopped in my tracks, breathing hard. I was frozen in my spot. There, standing by a small stream, were my parents. How could that be? I glanced around to see if anyone else was there, but there was no one but them. Hello? Willow, my mother called out to me. I didn't move, didn't say anything. I just stood there blinking at them. You can come closer, sweetheart. We have been waiting for you. Her voice was soft and sweet, just like I remember it to be. Forcing myself to move, I took small steps towards them, my eyes going between them both, waiting for them to just disappear into thin air. Once I was in front of them, I was breathing hard, my emotions running all over. I didn't know what I was to do. Should throw myself at them, or do I just stand here? Look how beautiful you have become, my mother says as I see a signal tear roll down her cheek as she steps forward, placing her hand on my cheek. Once her hand made contact with me, I knew it was really my mother. Her touch was the same I felt so many times as a child, when right at that moment I broke, throwing myself at her, wrapping my arms around her neck. Mama! I cried out. Oh, my sweet girl! I felt a hand on my back. Looking over, I saw my father smiling at me. Daddy! Yes, sweetheart. Letting go of my mother, I went straight to his arms that were held open. I've missed you both so much. Pulling back, I looked at them both. They looked just like I remembered them too. We have missed you as well. You have grown up so much. You are so beautiful, Mama says as she brushes my hair away from my face. She took my hand, pulling me with them closer to the stream. We sat down, Mama not letting go of my hand. If I'm here with you now, does that mean I'm... I couldn't say the words even though I had wished for it more times than I can count. The thought of actually being it scared me. No, baby girl, you are not dead, my father answered me. Then how am I here now and with you both? Well, the moon goddess granted us this one chance to cross paths with you, as it seemed you have given up on life. I dropped my eyes, looking at my lap. I didn't want them to know how I wanted to die to escape the hell I was living in. I'm sorry. I don't mean to disappoint you both. No, sweet girl, you have done no such thing. We are proud of you no matter what. You have strength, Willow. Deep down inside you are our daughter, Willow. Never forget that. You will show them how strong you are, my father says as he holds my other hand. You don't know what life I have been living, and Alpha Lucas knows who I am. They are cruel. His son rejected me as his mate, then marked another, then his father tried forcing me to become his mistress. I can't stay there any longer. I tried running away, but they caught me. They whipped me and chained me outside like an animal, left me to die. My sweet girl, look at me. My mama cupped my cheek, pulling my head up to look at her. I know you have had a hard life. We have watched as you have grown. We've seen every time you cried. We have felt the pain that you have. Knowing we couldn't help you, but now we have a chance to show you who you are. You were meant to lead, Willow. You are born a leader. You are born an alpha. You are a true alpha by blood. Lincoln. I sat there just looking at her. It was now almost morning. I had sat here all night not leaving her side. I let everything that happened along with what the doctor told me run over and over in my head. I wasn't too sure what to think after hearing all that this poor girl had been through, the ringer and then some. I sent River to see if he could find anything out about her. The Alpha should have records in his office, and as of right now this pack was on lockdown till I found out what was going on here. The doctor had left a while ago, but my beast wouldn't let me leave her. He was already smitten, I could tell. I swear I could hear him purr in my head. Wimp. She would let out little moans once in a while, or her hand would flinch. The one time her whole body jerked upward, I thought for sure she was going to throw herself off the bed. Her face was still swollen. You could see the bruise on her throat. Letting my eye drift down her arms, you could see the scars on them. Some looked faded, but other were new. She was laying on her side. The doctor didn't want her to rub the stitches open or for them to bleed. She had already lost enough blood. I could smell the rosemary more now that all the blood was wiped off her. It was strong, which only made the beast in me stir even more. The urge to touch her was getting harder to resist. I wanted to feel her skin against mine. I also didn't want to hurt her. She seemed so fragile, like if I touched her she would crumble. Finally, I gave. Reaching up, I to her hand as softly and gently as I could. In mine I felt tingles ever so lightly on my skin. I felt a sense of calmness wash over me, and I knew it was my beast soaking in the touch of his mate. Looking at her hand in mine was so small compared to mine. In fact, her whole body was small. She didn't seem that tall, and even if she wasn't so underweight, I was a giant compared to her. A small groan caused me to look up. Her head moved a bit as her lips parted, her tongue swiping over her bottom lip as her eyes tried to open but couldn't with how swollen they were. Standing up, I leaned closer to her. "Hey, can you hear me?" She mumbled something. Turning her head, she managed to peek out one eye. I swear I saw fear rip through that little slit she was looking out. She tried to move back away from me. I didn't want her to roll on her back as I knew it would be painful. "It's all right, you safe. I won't hurt you." She shook her head, still pulling back. Mumbling again, I placed my hand on her shoulder. "Please, I'm not going to hurt you, but you need to stay still." She stopped moving, but her breathing was hard as her heart rate started to beat faster. I was about to yell for the doctor when she came bustling through the door. Moving to the side I was standing on, she came around me, standing closer to her head. "It's okay, dear. I am Dr. Lin. You are in the Pack Hospital, do you understand? She nodded slightly the best she could. I will explain everything to you, but first, can you talk? Or is there pain in your throat area? She closed her eyes, swallowing slowly. She started to cough from them two little words. Reaching around the doctor, grabbing the glass of water, holding it to her lips. Her eyes followed my movement, but she didn't try drinking from the straw. It's okay, drink the cool water, will help your dry throat. Her eyes moving back to the doctor, she gave her a small nod. Go ahead. Parting her lips just enough to take the tip of the straw, she took a few sips and then let it go. How does that feel? The doctor asked her. I shouldn't be here, she squeaked out, then closing her eyes. Not what I thought would come out, but it made my beast stir under my skin. You were hurt, dear. This gentleman found you and brought in here. Why do you think you shouldn't be here? I need to get back to the pack house, please. I scrunched my brows at her words. Who wakes up in the hospital saying this? What the hell? I am sorry, dear, but your injuries are too great to let you leave. You need care, and in your condition, you won't be able to do it yourself. Please, I don't want to get into trouble. Her voice started to waver a bit. She could even stand on her own, let alone leave here. Who would you get into trouble with? I asked her, her eyes moving to look at me. She shook her head, and my beast started to claw at me from inside. He wanted out. His mate was hurting and he wanted to comfort her. You won't get into trouble, dear. Trust me, you are completely safe here. Can you tell me your name? She didn't say anything at first, but then I heard, Willow. Willow, I said lowly, her name rolling out my mouth smoothly. I loved the name. Okay, Willow, can you tell me how you got here? She shook her head as she started to push back again. I reached out to steady her. If she went any farther, she was going to fall off the other side of the bed. Willow, I need you to stay still and not lay on your back. She stopped, looking up at the doctor. Your back is badly injured. I had to stitch you up in some spots. If you rub them, you will bleed or rip a stitch out. Closing her eyes, I saw a signal tear run down her nose, falling onto her pillow. She lifted her hand, touching her face. Wincing just a bit when she touched her eye, I felt a stabbing pain right in my chest at the sight of her crying and showing any pain. Willow, are you a member of this pack? The doctor tried again, yes and no. Looking at the doctor as she glanced at me, raining one brow. I wasn't following either. Can you explain a little more? I am just a servant here, she spoke, but the broken sound in her voice told me that there was something else. How did you end up out in the woods, chained to the post? I couldn't help the question. I needed to know who put her there. I was becoming antsy and the beast was pushing harder to come out. I can't. She sniffled a bit, hiding her face in the pillow. Is there anyone we could call for you, maybe a family member? She stilled for a moment before she looked up. Mia. She is another servant in the pack house. Mia. Okay, I will go and find her right now, but you do not try to get up or roll over, do you understand? I'll be staying with her, I said before she answered. Looking back at Willow, she turned to face me. All right, but no stress, she needs to stay calm. Got it. Find my Beta River, he is at the pack house. Tell him who you are looking for, he will find her? Okay. I will be quick. Any trouble, call a nurse. Nodding to her as she left the room, I took a seat by the bedside again, looking up at her. She was watching me like a hawk. I could see part of her blue eye as she just stared at me. I guess I should introduce myself. Seeing as I know your name. She blinked but didn't say anything. I could sense the fear in her as rolled off her in waves. I am Lincoln. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates. Link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.